Happy Monday! Welcome to the Bird's Nest. Before I get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. Primarily subscribe for my football takes throughout the season. Let's dive right in. I know I should have did this video earlier, but Auntie Joe. And I turned up at the game at my nephew's debut on Friday. And so I had to take the whole weekend to recover, child. Listen, I am so happy to have been there for Shedor's debut. He balled out like I knew he would. That's neat. That's almost neither here nor there. I know that after what the owners did to him, knocking him down in the draft the way they did, people who were unfamiliar with Shedeur, they just went along with it. They don't know that the boy is a baller. They didn't watch him play. So they said, okay, if he was taken in the 5th round, that's where he belonged. Neff can show you better than he can tell you. So, what he did was went out there and outperformed every quarterback that was drafted before him by a country mile. Much respect to Kevin Stefanski. Hey, I'm like how they were with Shedeur. I am unfamiliar with Kevin Stefanski. I just got to know him since they drafted Shedeur. And the way he played, called those plays, allowed Shedeur to show off all his talents. So many different things. He got some rushing yards. He got some short passes, some screens. He got some long passes. He got some touchdowns. He got passing touchdowns. He got just doing a regular old drive to the end zone. Just showed a little bit of everything and looked like a veteran. What so many people were shocked by was his poise and his composure, but that's one of his superpowers. His accuracy, his composure, his decision making. Those are his superpowers. But they didn't know. But Neff showed it to him. So I was very pleased with the results, and I'm waiting to hear what happens today, because no matter what he did in training camp now, of course, let me just say that the 5th round draft pick thing, I'm no longer embracing that. I never did, but I'm not acknowledging it any further. If I ever talk about my nephew Shedeur, I'm going to say top 10 pick Shedeur Sanders, because that's what he was and that's what he showed. So now everybody knows that those billionaires colluded to rob this man of tens of millions of dollars because he hurt their feelings. Their feelings was hurt. How dare you talk to us like you're on our level? This is an interview. You don't have the right to interview us. That's what he did. Shedeur want to know, what are your plans? What you going to do for me? What can I do for you? How do I fit into what you plan to do? How are we going to turn this losing around? How dare he? How dare the goose that lays the golden eggs question the farmer? That's what they thought. They went after a 23-year-old boy, guns blazing, to take him down. And the Browns were part of it. They all were part of it. Tom Brady was part of it. He is an op. And Shedeur can't say that right now. Shedeur can't say Tom Brady is an op. He's not my friend. He didn't give me a heads up or nothing. He just let me fall. no advice throughout. You know, if Tom Brady was hearing that Shedeur was being problematic by not bowing down to them, because that's all it was, guys. By not bowing down to them and kissing their feet with their losing selves, he didn't warn them. Yeah, things came out in the press. Yeah. And instead of fixing it, Deion took offense to it. Okay. But Tom, if you so-called his mentor, talk to him. Man to man. Shedeur, talk to him. I guess, I don't know, with Deion being in there, it kind of makes things hairy. It makes things hairy, because even though Deion was acting as his agent, he's still his father. He's still a legend that these guys look up to, that Tom Brady looks up to. Tom Brady was awesome, but he ain't Deion. Deion may be the best athlete ever. So all these guys look up to him. They don't know how to talk to him, or I don't know. Maybe they want to stick it to him too. I don't even know. I can't call it. All I know is that they colluded against a 23-year-old. They robbed him of $40 million. And then the Browns continued the nonsense. So no matter how much he balled, well, first of all, they took Dylan Gabriel over him, knowing, of course, all of those quarterbacks that were drafted, none of them were better than Shedeur, and that includes Cam. And I love Cam. And I think Cam gonna ball out this season just as much as Shedeur. I ain't saying that Shedeur is better than him, but he's at least as good as him. At least. He outperformed him this weekend. But that, you know, that's their first game. You don't know how that's going to look. You got to give these boys a chance to grow. So, you know, these preseason games are to allow them to get their feet wet and get used to close to NFL speed. They're still playing with backups, second, third, fourth string. But faster than what they were dealing with in college, giving them an opportunity to just get acclimated with the NFL. That's all this is. So Cam not performing at his usual level didn't surprise me. Shedeur performing close to his usual level did not surprise me, because Shedeur's got this weird composure. Shedeur is like a robot built by Deion. Deion poured all the good stuff in there, all the good stuff to make him a top athlete. And that's what he is. So I'm glad that the world got to finally see that Shedeur was the top 10 pick that I've been saying he was since long before the draft. And actually, I had him at top 3. I started saying top 10 just to, you know, kind of fit the narrative. There was naysayers out there. There were some scouts saying that he was top 10 instead of my top 3. To me, it was top 2. But I didn't know. I actually didn't know how it was going to shake out between Shedeur, GT, Cam, and Travis. So really top 5. That's what I was thinking. And that's what I was saying, and that's what I expected. And so after he fell out of top 5, I was pissed for the duration. Because, and then when the Steelers didn't take him because they were the last ones that needed a quarterback in the first round, I was like, what's happening? Something's happening. Something is happening. So, Shedeur is a top 5 pick. That's what I'm going to be saying from now on. I'm not acknowledging that 5th round nonsense. But here's the thing. So, of course, the Browns owner was included in the collusion. I don't know what the deal was. Maybe, this is a wild guess, maybe the deal was that the Browns wanted to draft Shedeur. The Browns were going to take Shedeur. And the owners colluded and said, somebody just tried to teach me a lesson. and I missed my exit. The Browns colluded, and I'm speeding, and said, or the owners colluded and came up with the idea that, okay, you can have him, since you was planning on drafting him, you can have him, but you can't take him first, because he's not going to be talking to our GMs and owners like they owe him something and think we're going to pay him $40 million. So you can have him, but we need him to go much later. We will give him $4 million instead. He ain't getting the 40 after he came in there thinking he was on our level. So the Browns went along with it, but then they kept perpetuating it. So Shedeur been balling out. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but I've been watching very closely. Very closely. So I know that ever since rookie minicamp, Shedeur been balling out more than everybody else. Shedeur been coming to practice early every single day and staying late every single day, and except for the day his arm was hurt. Every day since rookie minicamp. And he's been balling out and putting up good stats. And stats don't tell the whole story at all. They really don't. But those completions just kept showing me that his accuracy is still on point. So that's important. I knew, okay, he got the completions, but we don't know what those completions are. They could be check downs. They could be anything. But he was having good stats throughout rookie minicamp, OTAs, mandatory minicamp, and training camp. His stats were better than the other four quarterbacks by a country mile. This is the thing. It wasn't a little bit better. He wasn't just in first place, and he was a couple percentage points higher than them. He had a couple touchdowns. No. He performed better than them by a country mile because he was a top 3 draft pick. And that's how he looked. And they saw it. Whatever I saw, I'm going on stats and a little bit of video that I get here and there. But the Browns saw it in person. And they refused to let him move up the depth chart. Okay, I gotta go along with it. Hey, I'm new to being a football fanatic because of Shedeur. Shedeur and Dion got me into football 2 years ago. So okay, so maybe maybe they can't move up in training camp. Okay. So now we at the point where I ain't accepting it no more, because now he done showed you on the field. He outperformed every rookie quarterback this weekend, including Cam Ward, by a country mile. And that includes Jackson Dart, who had a good weekend. And I don't take nothing away from rookies. Let me tell y'all something. I ride for rookies for some reason. I guess it's because Shedeur was in college when he made me a football fanatic. And so the quarterbacks that he played against or that I would hear about, I started rooting for them when they would make it to the NFL. So, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. I ain't even gonna name that guy. It's mainly Bo Nix and Michael Penix are my main faves. And Jaden Daniels that came out last year. Last year. So I always root for all the rookies, and I'm rooting for Jackson, and I'm rooting for Jackson. And love Cam. Now, Shador my nephew, but Cam, I play nephew. I love Cam, so I'm rooting for them. So Jackson balled like a rookie this weekend. He was definitely second behind Shedeur. But again, Shedeur outperformed him by a country mile. Jackson had good completions because just like Stefanski called plays that allowed Shedeur to show so many different skills, it looked like Dave Bowl called plays to make sure Jackson didn't look like a failure. So he didn't get all the variety that Shedeur got. He threw a lot of short passes. I mean, yeah. But he threw one long pass and it was a touchdown. Go Jackson! So great for him. But no, he wasn't on Shedor's level because Shedeur is a top 3 pick. And I'll say top 3 because, like I said, it was those 4 guys who were up there. I didn't know who was going to go where. All 4 of those guys were excellent, outstanding. I didn't know a lot about Cam, but I kept hearing about him. And that's how it is with all the other quarterbacks. I don't watch nobody but Shedeur and whoever he's watching playing for that week. That's who I would watch when he was in college. So I said, oh, okay. So they were talking about Cam because I just assumed that Shedeur would be the number 1 quarterback off the board. But then Cam came up. And I just wondered, I wonder if he is composed to Shedeur. Is he an NFL quarterback or is he a great college quarterback? Because Shedeur's an NFL quarterback, I've been saying, after 2 years. So, Shedeur outperformed everybody. Now everybody knows that the fix was in. Or you know, some cultures are less confrontational than others. I'll say that. But even though they're less confrontational, they will find a way to get you. They won't come at you eye to eye. They'll get you by dropping you in the draft and robbing you of $40 million. That type of stuff. Those same people are now saying he slid for non-football reasons. That's what they say. He slid for non-football reasons. They don't say collusion, despite the fact that the NFL was recently proven to have colluded once again against Lamar Jackson. Ain't that his name? I always want to call him Lamar Odom. I think I've called him that before. Anyway, recently, they have colluded to stop these players from changing things and making them have to pay more. But in Shedeur's case, it was just from changing things. How dare you come in here with your rich behind and act like you on our level and ask us what we could do for you? Y'all know what I've been saying all along. What can you do for the guy that, even though you have no primetime games, by the sheer fact that you start him, all you got to do is start Shedeur, and I promise you, your games will be getting flexed to prime time. Y'all, remember I said that on this day. If Shedeur becomes the starter for the Cleveland Browns, they will have primetime games, which are currently not scheduled to happen. They have 0 primetime games because they are the Browns. And why would they deserve a primetime game? Well, let Shedeur be starting. He gonna get primetime games because Shedeur generates ratings. Shedeur turns old aunties into diehard football fans. And Dion. It wasn't just Shedeur now. It was Dion that drew me in. Dion drew me in, and Shedeur hooked me. I'm hooked on that boy. I am so delusional about that boy that I absolutely refer to him as my nephew to everybody that I'm talking to about him. And I be thinking that they know. You know what, guys? Everybody's not on social media. Everybody's not on Twitter. So they don't know. Nobody knows. So when I refer to Shedeur as my nephew, people always think I'm serious. I had to tell my boss, no, not my real nephew, not my real nephew. At the game, I'm at the game. I did have a fantastic seat. As a matter of fact, I am on Well Off Media, and I'm on Shedeur's quarterback coach's page. I'm on both their pages because I did invest in the best seats. I purchased a good seat, and then I purchased field. There's this thing that they call the vault where you get all you can eat food and drinks, and you're right there on the 50-yard line behind. I was behind the Browns bench. So, and I'm on Well Off Media because I was standing right next to Shedor's quarterback coach, and I also saw Boog, his entourage member. I didn't see his mom though, but I did see those two guys, and I was standing right next to Shedor's quarterback coach while Shedor was talking to him. So I'm sitting there cheesing. My biggest smile, not my practiced perfect smile, my biggest smile while Shedor is standing in front of me. Experience of a lifetime to go to be there for his first game, to watch him ball out and prove to the world, because those people that were responsible for him falling in the draft, they knew what he was. Shedeur was a heavily recruited player. Shedeur was invited to the draft like a first-round pick, but he declined to go. He declined to go, like he was, in their eyes, doodling on them. He was doodling on them, declining the invitation to come to the draft. Going into interviews super confident. They called him a know-it-all too. He knows what he can do. He knows more than you. He knows that he has turned around 2 losing teams. And the first one that they never talk about, which is Jackson State, took them to the championship twice from what I understand. They never talk about that. So he turned around 2 teams. And so he's telling you, that's my specialty. That's what I do. And y'all are not believing. Or, yeah, maybe that part you didn't believe. And so you're calling him a know-it-all, and he think he knows everything. Let me tell you something. What he's supposed to think about you, who be losing year after year after year after, especially Cleveland, after year after decade after decade. What he's supposed to think about y'all? Oh, he's supposed to be grateful for your money. He already got money. He grew up with money. He can easily make money. He doesn't even have to play football and he will make money. He don't need your money. What can you do for a player like him that's going to bring you money? And now, for 4 years, he going to bring you way more money than you bring him. So yes, he had the right to ask y'all questions. Maybe y'all need to think about changing your culture. Maybe y'all need to give these players a little more leeway in interviews. And certainly not thinking that a bunch of billionaires need to team up against a 23-year-old. Because he hurt your little feelings because he's more man than you. And you don't even need to feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about that. Everybody couldn't be raised by Deion Sanders. He gonna raise men that's more manly than you. His little grandson, that's probably gonna be 5 feet tall, cause oh my God, gonna be more manly than y'all, and it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to use your power to try to knock them down. Do you want the money or not? Shedeur trying to bring y'all a Brinks truck weekly. Do you want the money? Y'all better find a way to get my nephew his money back. He don't have an agent. Why don't one of you billionaires call your billionaire friend and get him a watch endorsement? Ooh, that rock hit the window hard. Call one of your billionaire friends and get him a watch endorsement. I don't know. Y'all need to do something to make up that money y'all stole from him. Because you was mad. And you want to get back at a 23-year-old. I was so happy when he came into that game with the music. Yeah. Be you, nephew. Be you. But I forgot to say, At the game, I was referring to Shedeur as my nephew also. And none of them even heard of, like, people doing that. So they thought I was serious, too. 2 people, I had to explain to them Shedeur was not my real nephew. I mean, he is. But he's not. Not by blood. But he is. He's my nephew. I love him. And shout out to Bucky for zooming in on me and everything, because I was like, Bucky! Anyway, so, hey, Shedeur fans, we are up, honey. And today we need to find out if the Browns are going to stop playing these childish games and name him, at a minimum, QB2. Yes, you lose your position when you are injured and the other player balls out. Kevin Stefanski, don't play with me. Don't play with me. My boy need first team reps this week. And if y'all put out a depth chart, if you don't want to put out no depth chart, sure, it's cool. But if you do put one out and he's not QB2, oh, now we're going to have to start talking about you. Now everybody going to have to start talking about you. Because I don't want to hear all those people that was like trying to be diplomatic by saying it's just a preseason game. It's not going to move him into the starting position. It should. I've been saying from day one, he should be the starter. No 40-year-old is better than Shador. Anyway, at least QB2. If not, now you're just going to be looking crazy to everybody. And not just of us who are Colorado fans and knew what you were getting in Shedeur, and you already knew. You knew better than us. You already knew. You've been watching them. So, we'll see how it goes today, y'all. Y'all have a good Monday, and thank you for watching The Bird's Nest, and please remember to like and subscribe. Mwah.